this is the day after you've been banned, lifetime ban, and they say under these UN rules, anybody will be banned on the internet, period, if you've been shown to be hateful for making fun of the abominable Ghostbusters movie. So this is getting crazier and crazier, and I wondered, I'm like, Milo's not giving statements to the press. It's like one of the top stories in the world right now. I mean, this is crazy. And he comes in and goes, oh yeah, I'm going to give you the unfettered statement because it's live and I won't be censored. So Milo, you've got the floor. Walk through what's happened. A lot of folks are watching. A lot of people are listening. We'll recap it too a little bit later, but thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm glad we got to do this at last.
You bet. Well, this is insane. This is wild. I didn't realize, I mean, I knew this was epic, but I didn't realize it was like supernova epic.
Turned me into the little star of the RNC. You know, I don't know how stupid Twitter is, but I don't think they anticipated what was going to happen.
Well, let's talk about, for new viewers or folks that have halfway followed it, what's really happened. Your statement, go ahead.
Sure. Well, I published a review of the new Ghostbusters movie, which is a really bad film. It's a very bad film. It seems to me to be the first film, I mean, maybe the first film I've ever seen, first anyone I can think of, which has been conceived entirely out of spite. This is a movie that just hates men. It is a movie that can, that drops in a million little dull, thin, mean, nasty, third-wave, Twitter-style feminist jabs. They throw Bill Murray out of the window, just a sort of nice metaphor for what they've done to the franchise generally. And at the end, they shoot the big marshmallow guy in the nuts, to kill. It's just all these tiny, nasty little jabs.
Sounds like
throughout.
toddlers made a movie.
Exactly. It's the first movie I can think of that was made entirely out of childish spite. Now, the thing about the first Ghostbusters movie, and maybe people didn't think of this at the time, but it is like a libertarian showcase. The bad guys in the first movie aren't the ghosts. The bad guys in the first movie are the government. The ghosts in the first movie are adorable. They're nice, fun characters.
Slimer looks like a good guy to party with.
Of course, who doesn't want to party with the ghosts from Ghostbusters? No, but the villains in the first movie were the government. It was the bungling bureaucrats getting in the way of
the
private...
EPA.
Exactly, well, yeah, getting in the way of private
enterprise. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. I'm sorry.
Anyway, the new movie is entirely from this sort of mean... I know you do a lot of feminism. Paul Joseph Watson does a lot of feminism.
I've seen it, though. A lot of movies now. You go see them. The new House Party movie was unwatchable, all about how men are demons. We did all this stuff, and I was just like, I wasn't even offended. It was so horrible. Yeah. I was like assaulted. If you're going to assault me, at least make it entertaining.
Do you know what? I have a golden rule in life, which is be twice as funny as you are offensive, and this failed my golden rule. I wouldn't have minded if I'd been laughing along, but it was almost worse than a genuinely kind of terrible movie. It was just sort of, you kind of like chuckled a few times, but otherwise it was just dreadful. Anyway, I published a review on Breitbart, a 2,000-word review. It's very long, very funny.
Breitbart.com. Give folks the...
Well, if you want to see stuff by and about me now, no longer on Twitter, but you can go to breitbart.com/Milo, and they aggregate everything about me in one place.
For now, though. For now.
I'm not going to get banned from Breitbart anytime soon, I don't think. But
no, but they are going after the internet, that's what I mean.
No, of course. So, you can go there. Anyway, I published this 2,000-word review, and Leslie Jones, who is the Black Ghostbuster, didn't like it very much. She wasn't very keen on it. She took to Twitter to say...
She was triggered.
She was triggered. Yes, she was triggered. She took to Twitter to say, you're terrible, you should be banned, all the rest of it. So I cracked a few jokes, as I am wont to do sometimes. She blocked me, so I took a screenshot of that, and I said, ugh, rejected by another black dude, because she looks remarkably like one of my ex-boyfriends. And I said, a few little jokes like that, just little things like I do all the time. I mean, look, if you don't like that kind of humor, fine. But, remarkably, I think Twitter's finally pulled the trigger on me. They've had a Milo problem for a while. They've been
lifetime ban.
With a lifetime ban on Twitter because I made a few jokes about this is the state.
But you use your fame, your personality to drive tens of millions of followers there, and then they just take it from you. We are the people that make Twitter and Facebook big. I just don't get this.
Well, we're the most interesting thing on there. I mean, the left is so boring now. All they do is sort of hector and language police, and they look at the world through one prism alone, which is the prism of bigotry. Is this person racist, sexist, homophobic, or transphobic? If not, we're not interested in the story, and if yes, go nuts. That's really all most of the American media does now. They have given up the pursuit of truth and exposing wrongdoing, and instead they're in the business of virtue signaling to each other.
Well, you're taking this pretty good, but I mean, for me, it's a bellwether with the coup at Fox, all the stuff that's going on.
You're next. They're coming for you next.
Oh, I believe me. They're already after me. I know that.
You and Coulter, they're going to get all of us. For me, very honestly, I'm not as upset as people think I should be about this because, it's turned me into a little micro star on this. I've become a free speech martyr. Thing is, I saw this coming, so I've started to plan. I don't have anything like the audience you do, but I'm starting to build one on YouTube and various other places.
Well, you got a huge audience, but probably, but expanding on that, then, but let's talk about what they're claiming you did, because Paul Watson shot a video about it. I saw you
It's
break it
interesting
down.
that no one will publish it. You know, all these left-wing media outlets, you know, who I've said no to interviews to because I wanted to sit down with somebody who was kind of on message, I can actually talk, you know. All these media outlets said, oh, Milo Yiannopoulos incited this hate brigade and these terrible things. Not one of them quotes anything I said.
I was reading the New York Times. It sounded like you committed murders or something.
No, not one of them.
All you did was make
anything
fun.
I said. Anything I said. And of course, you know, I'm like, so what Twitter's line on this seems to be that I incited harassment of an individual by publishing a movie review. Are you insane? Should I start censoring my movie reviews in case they contain any women or black characters that might get bad words on the internet? This is nuts.
Yeah, so you cover it. A few trolls, might even be them, say something racist. Now it's your fault.
Is it?
So it's like the Nazis. If somebody fought them in Poland, down the street, they'd kill the whole street.
No, I mean, seriously.
So like, you know, like if your neighbor does something wrong, we're going to come after you.
Exactly, this guilt by association, classic
It's
tactic.
very fascist.
Classic tactic of the left, classic authoritarian tactics. You know, guilt by association. It's the Zelensky stuff, you should know very well.
You're right, the left and the right have done it, but I mean, this is classic totalitarianism.
No, of course it is.
You wrote an article, so people in the comments made racist comments, you're banned.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, you know, they don't go after, you know, in fact, Twitter employees have been egging on the war between, like, for instance, Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian, you know, these sort of celebrity wars. They love
that's okay.
They love to egg
You can
them
have
on.
Twitter accounts say kill Donald Trump.
Of course, and, you know, female...
But you can't make fun of a bad movie.
Female, conservative women get it even worse than we do. I mean, if you've ever talked to Ann Coulter about this...
Do you know what Leanne McAdoo goes through on Twitter?
No, I don't even want to know.
I mean, it is horrible.
I dread to think.
And it's all the left doing it.
I have never... You know, my day job is technology editor at Breitbart, you know, so it's my job to keep an eye on this kind of stuff. I don't think I can ever remember an example of a progressive being banned from Twitter, no matter whether it was a rape threat, a death threat, nothing.
They have Facebook ones too, where like
I don't think I've
500,000
ever seen an
followers
example.
saying kill Trump.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an example of one of these people be banned. It's so astonishing. You know,
Why do you think they're so scared of you? Because they really do hate you.
Oh, because they can't beat me. Because I fall into this weird sort of, well, for the left anyway, a weird category. This gay conservative who's like sassy and funny and interesting, and they can't do what they normally do. Like the straight white men, call them bigots and misogynists and all the rest of it. They can't label me like they normally do. They can't call me names. None of the traditional leftist tactics work on me because they're obviously just it's obviously not true. You can't call me a homophobe and get away with it. It's so stupid, you know. So they can't beat me in debate. When they come to my university talks, all they can do is shout me down, try to censor me, try to have me banned. So this is the last option they have available to them. They can't win in the court of public opinion. They can't win with ideas. So they just shut you down instead.
Well, obviously they would spin what you said. They won't show your actual statements. I'm going to skip this network break. I want you to take over, Milo, because I want you to host a show right now.
I will do
not
so.
being censored, and I want you to tell folks that are watching what you really stand for, what you really said about Ghostbusters.
Perfect.
And because you got the floor. Go ahead.
Wonderful. Ghostbusters is a really bad movie, but worse than the movie is what feminism has done to its stars, to the women who act in this movie. It's turned the superstars of Hollywood blockbusters into victims. Nothing offends me, really. I mean, I don't have that bit of my brain where I get offended or afraid or all the rest of it. Maybe I'm broken, but yeah, I don't get offended by many things, but I was sort of offended on behalf of women, not just because of the stereotypical and dumb portrayals of women in this movie. You know, you've got the tomboy, you've got the sort of 80s sassy black woman played by Leslie Jones, which all my black friends cringed at enormously. But what happened to these women is they turned themselves into professional victims, into grievance mongers, and these are strong, talented, successful women who are sitting at home in wherever they live in, you know, Beverly Hills or whatever, on their iPhones, worrying about what people are saying on the internet. These women are victims, but not
Poor babies.
I know, but these women are victims, just not of what they think. They're not victims of the patriarchy. They're not victims of some white supremacist conspiracy. These people are victims of feminism. These women are victims of people who have told them that everything that is wrong in their life is down to a man somewhere. Or black people, that everything is wrong in your life is down to some sort of hegemonic, capitalist, hetero-patriarchal system. It simply isn't true. And it's so shocking to me and so depressing to see women who do now have access to, you know, education, to all the institutions of civil society, to government, everything else, constantly told that they are victims, that they are oppressed, that everything that bad happens to them in their life is somebody else's fault. And Leslie Jones, I don't know whether she was deployed by the studio on purpose to kind of drum up some sympathy because the movie
obviously
bombing.
this is all staged.
I mean, it seems that way.
So like make money off killing the First Amendment. Well, I say boycott their damn film.
It seems that way to me. And of course, you've got to bear in mind Sony and Amy Pascal at Sony. She was caught saying some slightly off-color things about Barack Obama in those emails that were leaked from Sony. Yeah. You remember? Oh, let's take him to go see Django or whatever it was, you know? And she was like, So this is Amy Pascal trying to get her social justice credentials back. This is you know, there are a lot of things going on here. And I just, from my point of view, I talk a lot about feminism in my college talks. I'm so shocked and saddened by what the left and what feminism and what political correctness has done to women. Women have been reporting themselves as getting progressively less happy every decade since the Second World War. It cannot be unrelated
That's
to...
right. It's a bunch, let's just say it, and I'm not being mean about this, but it's a bunch of weird, twisted, ugly women.
It is.
That are jealous.
And mainly lesbians, by the way.
Exactly.
It is.
No, it is. And they want the women. And I get it. I want women too. They want to keep them on this reservation.
No, but it's like, of course these feminists hate men. They're all lesbians. If you look, I say this in my talks, and people get offended by this.
Competition.
No, exactly. If you look at the academic roster, you look at the faculty list in a gender studies department.
They want to bring girls in, brainwash them.
divorcee, dyke. And we're letting these women lecture like other women on how to negotiate with men. It's like putting Hitler in charge of a museum of Jewish antiquity. Why are these angry, overweight, horrendous, like chip-on-shoulder conspiracy theory, indulging lesbianic monsters telling women how to be women? That's insane.